Well, hey everybody, it's Chuck. Welcome back. Well, it's Sunday morning and this is going to be a low traffic test, but I'm just trying to get this video out before I spend some time with the family. We are on FSD 13.2.2 in the Cybertruck. I did my first impressions drive yesterday in the Model Y and it did amazingly well. Cybertruck is a little bit different than the Model Y. So we're going to go out and do the exact same drive as best I can and see what we can duplicate. Settings, just to kind of keep in mind, I'm going to use the standard profile today. Max off speed is staying where it is. We don't have the options here for start from park and to, don't use the brake for approval setting here. Those are not here yet. A lot of the other updates in this version, I honestly think, are about the holiday update with the software improvements, the map changes, and things like that. So I've got our route in here. Looks like I've got the steering wheel ready, so I'm just going to go ahead and engage it from here. I am in standard mode with the 40 offset right now, so we're going to do that for today's drive. Hopefully I've got all my cameras running. It is a little chilly out for Jacksonville, 45 degrees. You see that in the upper right-hand corner. And I hope I don't lose my 360 camera because the suction cups are hard. I probably need to get a new suction cup. Okay, here we go. First unprotected left-hand turn. There's our NHTSA stop. And creeping out. And a nice wide open left and right roller. This should be no problem at all. The turns are smooth and methodical. I wouldn't say it was aggressive. That turn on the Model Y felt a little bit more pronounced and assertive. But I don't think that the Cybertruck is doing that. And you see in standard mode, it got right out of that left lane. I'm going to go ahead and disengage, go back and do one more unprotected left-hand turn, and then we'll do our U-turn. Stick with me. Okay, we're back. So in order to give you that same sense of kind of not having reverse, I'm initiating this unprotected left-hand turn in that same cul-de-sac I did yesterday, where I let the Model Y back into the curb and then it did the U-turn in the cul-de-sac. What I've essentially done here is I've just forced the Cybertruck to go to the end of the cul-de-sac, use its radius to turn. But remember, the Cybertruck does not have reverse yet on this version. So if it gets stuck or it misses this radius to turn, it will end up in a disengagement. It's turning as tight as it can. Is it going to make it? Wow. That was close, but it made it. Nice job on the Cybertruck cul-de-sac U-turn there. That looked like it was getting pretty close to that mailbox, but it didn't even flinch. Okay, so we're going to go out and do our second unprotected left-hand turn here, followed by a U-turn. And pay attention to the road, Chuck. That's what I'm getting already. I'm trying to pay attention to the road. I'm trying to look at where I'm going, too. All right, here we go, everybody. Round two, unprotected left-hand turns into the Cybertruck. First thing I want you to notice is, did you see a question mark maneuver? No. There is not a question mark maneuver being used on this version. So that ADAS operator I saw here doing the test drives, clear to the left, clear to the right, wide open Sunday morning. See, look, no question mark. I did an unprotected left-hand turn yesterday, not on camera because I was just trying to verify. It was a critical disengagement. It lumbered out in front of a car, did not do a question mark, and left its rear end sticking out in the lane. So, in my opinion, this software has not changed from 13.2.1. Maybe there's some tweaks in here. Maybe the lane drift has been addressed a little bit. I've got the U-turn programmed in here next, so that's what we're going to see. I don't know. It did not have improved behavior on the unprotected left-hand turn with regards to the question mark or traffic. So today's test really wasn't much of a validation there. Okay, this is no traffic again. We just got the radius of turn to deal with, and how nice and smooth it was. Almost, gosh, it made the middle lane. So it has the radius of turn. It just was kind of slow doing it, but I don't have a problem with that with no oncoming traffic. It's a matter of managing oncoming traffic and the decisions it makes that I'm most worried about. So, great start for the Cybertruck. I'm really, really happy that this has gone wide by this morning. I know there were, now I will say wide, hardware 3, I know you're not getting this, so that's not even fair to say wide. It is going wider to the AI4 cars. I know everyone doesn't have it, so it's also a misnomer to say it's gone wide. I do think it's going to probably go to all of the AI4 cars very, very quickly, probably this week. Little bit of an aggressive decel there, so that braking curve, as that red light, if you were looking out front, was well out in the distance as a red. And it approached it with that rapid decel at the end of the drive there, or the end of that deceleration, felt a little bit sharp. Not exactly sure if that's been addressed yet either. I know that improved on 13.2.1 from 12.5.5.3, but we'll keep an eye on that on the rest of the drive to see if there's any other changes there. A few things I want to talk about while we're just kind of doing these empty parts of the drive, and we're going to probably be here for a little less than an hour because it's the same drive as yesterday, so stick with me if you enjoy this content. Some of you that follow me on X may have noticed I put out a GoFundMe. It probably should be a GoFund the community. What I'm doing is I'm trying to work with the engineer that helped design the HDMI extract modification for the Model 3 and the Model Y that I use on my other car. And we're trying to get a Cybertruck screen extraction methodology figured out. This engineer does not have a Cybertruck, so I need to get him some parts. I need to get him a screen and possibly even an MCU to validate this test. So what I've done, I couldn't raise the money with everybody, and I was a little hesitant to completely fund an R&D project that might turn into nothing myself. So we're just asking the community if you want to see good content, if you want to see this big, beautiful screen recorded via HDMI, if you want to contribute, that's what that GoFundMe was about. The important thing to realize is this is not a GoFundMe for Chuck. This is a GoFundMe for any Cybertruck owner that has any sort of desire to record the screen to create this solution. If we can get the solution working, this engineer will be making this available, we'll be selling them, and hopefully we can come up with a solution that doesn't require a modified screen, and we can just kind of create some adapters. But that's what we're doing. We're raising money to buy a screen, possibly a second screen if we crack the first one, an MCU, and of course a little bit of this engineer's time to do some R&D on the screen. Many of you have contributed to that, and we're on a good start. As a matter of fact, I've already ordered the screen and paid for it with the funds that we raised so far, so that it will be en route in January. And I will keep you posted on the progress of this project. But that's what that's about. It's about trying to develop something that provides us good content, allowing you guys to see the screen as we continue to evolve the Cybertruck, and also for others that just like to enjoy the improved visibility on the videos and perhaps record it themselves. That's what that's about. Hopefully that explanation helps, and I may even clip this video out and put it on the GoFundMe page as a description for any future donors that want to help out. Okay, in any case, enough on that. I do want to say that I do have a couple mods in here that I haven't talked about in a while. Many of you know about this rear camera screen. Isn't it amazing? Here I am just driving down the road talking to you guys about accessory modifications. Look at it. It stopped right here. Interesting. Oh, look at the cat. It stopped for the cat. I'm sitting here. What is he waiting for? And the Cybertruck was waiting on the cat. The cat wasn't even in the road. Nice job, Tesla. Once again, the dumb human didn't see it. Cybertruck was waiting. I didn't know why. And there goes the black cat crossing the road. Okay, I lost my train of thought on that last one. Oh, accessories. This rear view camera display, it's made by Hensho. It's kind of an advanced install, but look at this visibility it gives me. And oh, by the way, don't forget, I can pan up and down. I can even see something in my tonneau if it was there. There's a separate camera that goes up front that allows front dash cam. All right, I'm looking out here left. There's no traffic today, guys, so we're just essentially just driving this route to see how it does. Didn't use a suicide lane there. Joined quickly the left lane. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this trip out there, continue my route, and keep talking. I love this mod. This is my favorite mod that I've done so far, mostly because it gives me additional visibility. I do want to say though, on this version of FSD, we do have a little Easter egg or benefit with the Cybertruck. This rear view camera has zoom now. So there's a little button, there's 1 times, there's a half. So we got a wide angle view there. And I just lost my GoPro. Oh, shucks. Not my GoPro, my Insta360. All right, guys, I'm gonna go try to pick up that camera. I'll be right back. All right, well, I went back and got the camera, and this one's a goner. I might have the footage to show you, but it was a good 360X2. Just so you guys know, a lot of the money that I end up getting on YouTube, and it's not much, it goes to funding these damn cameras. That's a shame. I even said at the beginning of the video that I was probably going to lose that camera. Any case, I'm going to get over that. Another $500 down the tubes. Any case, I did want to point out, I got this camera visibility limit, all dirt and debris for camera, service, park, and park. That showed up, and this is a new feature. I can't exactly tell what camera that is right there. I think it was a sunlight issue. But I do want to say at the end of every drive, there's this camera visibility discussion about things that it sees. I don't know. I don't think I can do this while I'm in this mode. But see this camera visibility icon over here? That's what that's about. We can check that at our next parking situation. Pay attention to the road, Chuck. Oh, bummer. I hate losing expensive cameras, especially my 360. It was a triple suction cup mount. I mean, I got 3 suction cups on this thing. It just, whatever. Okay. I gotta have a 360 camera though, so I'm gonna have to get another one. A 360 adds so much visibility to the unprotected left-hand turns and the entire drive, really. Okay, I'm gonna get over that. So, next turn is coming up at the end of this drive, jumping on the highway. So I was talking about the accessories. The accessories, the hand show camera, and as I was talking about cameras, the visibility it gives, the camera zoom here is really kind of cool. You can tap it, you can pinch it. I thought I saw it go to 2 times zoom once. There's one. Anyway, and it's kind of nice. The other thing they added is down here, I have my camera button set in the menu bar, but they added the camera button there also. So on your rear view display, you've now also got a quick access for your camera button. That is kind of nice to have right there. So rear view camera. The other thing I've done, and this also is a convenience item, is I've added this screen tilt mod. So I can tilt my screen kind of like this, and because I don't have a recorder, I got to kind of get that square for you guys again. I really like the screen tilt mod, mostly because this upper right-hand corner is a little far away from me, and having that screen tilt brings it a little bit closer, especially when you're in wide-angle view. See that record button is way over here. When the screen is tilted a little bit towards me, I can reach it a little bit better, and plus it's just a little bit more ergonomic. To do the screen tilt mod, you do have to take the screen off. You've got to unplug the cable from the back of the monitor. You got to put a little extension cable on there so it can come out a little further. And believe it or not, that cable that goes into the back of this monitor is a USB-C plug. I did try to do some recording off of it, but it's a proprietary format or special pin out. It's not a standard USB-C out, so I can't use that for recording. I did try. But there's a possibility that inside of that USB-C cable, there are some pinouts that we can work to do the screen modification on. That's what we're thinking, is maybe we don't need to do a whole LVDS board like we did with the Model Y. Okay, joining the on-ramp for the highway section of this drive here. See how this behaves. A nice standard mode again. Blinkers on, a good acceleration there, getting up to highway speeds. And that feels really, really good. On the highway, I'm going to be looking for any sort of lane drift. I know this isn't probably going to happen on just a quick short drive that we're doing right here, but the lane drift is something that many people were highlighting on 13.2.1. It was just kind of a slow drift is how it was coming across. It wasn't like a swerve or anything. It just started meandering out of the lane centering, and even going off of the lane, crossing the yellow line into the actual the ridges that makes your tires bump. There's a name for that. I'm blanking on it right now. In any case, this feels good so far. Not much traffic to deal with. You know, it is kind of keeping in this right lane, almost like a chill mode would. But go ahead and edit the route real quick. Get us going around. Pay attention to the road, Chuck. See if it jumps out into this left lane or if it stays here. I'm fine with where it is. It's going the speed limit. I really don't know what to call standard right now, other than just average. It's kind of the median driver, kind of in the middle of hurry, which is definitely left lane, get around traffic, and chill is definitely camp out in the right or center lane and not really exercise a hurry. But I have seen chill act like standard, so I really don't know all the subtleties of chill and standard. I know chill likes the right-hand lane a little bit more than standard does, but in this short example, it's been in the right lane the whole time, even though our turn is coming up, and maybe that was part of his decision to stay in the right lane. All right. This is pretty good. I'm still thinking about my damn 360 camera. I'm so bummed. Oh well. Another camera. It is holiday time. I might have to wait a little while. No, I got to get another one quick. Okay. The other things I wanted to talk about are things that we have that were added to our screen. This is more holiday update stuff, but I tell you what, as a pilot, this is my favorite feature. If you go to the map over here and tap on the screen, look at this cloud we have down here. All right, jumping onto the on-ramp, coming off the right, we've got weather. And this weather map, for a pilot is something I love. It definitely zooms out. It definitely has a future cast kind of a capability. If you see that little scroll bar in the lower right going from now out to 11 a.m., that's like 3 hours out into the future. There's a pause button. You can kind of see how that works. So having a weather map is another huge feature. The other thing that is new in the holiday release is, and I love it because I happen to use iPhones. I'm not necessarily promoting iPhones. I mean, I think Android is a far superior operating system in many, many ways, but the ecosystem of family and friends has just sort of forced me into the Apple ecosystem. But the Apple Watch as a key is a pretty handy thing. And I think it's handy because I can't tell you the number of times I've walked out to my truck and I just have, I can't get in the truck because the car's locked. But if you go under here and you go under locks, you can see my Apple Watch is listed here as one of the keys. The thing to recognize it is your Apple Watch is just like having a key fob. And what that means is you need to go set the profile that you want that key to have. So your Apple Watch is a different key than your phone. So if you're jumping in the car with your Apple Watch and your phone at the same time, it might choose one or the other as the key. And if you don't have the same profile set, it could get a little wonky. Hopefully that makes sense. So just think of the Apple Watch as a separate key, not an extension of your phone. And that should help you use that. It's pretty handy. It works good. There's a couple little features on there that allow you to open the frunk and change the climate and see the charge state and stuff like that. Those are all, well, with the exception of opening the frunk. If you do have a handful of groceries, I think opening the frunk with that complication is going to be a little bit better of an implementation than that near field capability that it just did the 3 beeps and then opened, because that took a while to actually take effect. So that was probably my second favorite feature of this update was the Apple Watch. The weather maps, obviously in the summertime in Florida, seeing where the cells are if you're on the highway can be pretty insightful as to traffic flow and perhaps needing to slow down or maybe even go around it if an accident happens in or near the weather. There's a lot of other stuff in there. I think we already saw the camera cleaning kind of capability at the end of a drive. It tells you what cameras might need to be cleaned, or it's not giving me any complaints right now. So that might be something up on one of the stops when the truck goes to park, like at Memorial Park. Maybe I'll go look at that camera and we'll see what it says. Excuse me. I don't know, guys. I haven't really intervened yet. It is doing an amazing job. Obviously low traffic scenarios, this software does an amazing job. I mean, I've just been blabbing the whole time and almost not even thinking about where I'm going. It's just doing it. I haven't seen any lane drift yet. I mean, I am in standard over in the right lane, and the lane drift might be a little bit more of a hurry mode problem. I'm not sure. Tesla Tino, you guys give him a follow if you don't follow him. He's put a lot of miles on his truck, and I tell you what, if nothing else, If you want to know how your car or how your truck is going to age, check out both Tesla Tino and Justin Bearded Tesla also has got a lot of miles on his, because they both did that Arctic trek, and their cars, their trucks are doing an amazing job with a lot of miles on them. All right, as we come up here in about another mile, we're going to be exiting over to Memorial. Now you see that speed slowed to 50. I felt a little bit of a break there. I'm kind of boxed in. I'm curious if in standard mode it's going to get out of this left lane, this right lane, and get into the left lane to go around these vehicles, or if it's just going to camp here. This feels like what I think Chill would be doing. It's just kind of staying in the right lane. That's kind of what I mean when I don't know what the difference between standard and Chill is. It feels like standard, I kind of want you to go around a little bit of the traffic. But the fact it jumped into that right lane right there also is telling me it's preparing for its navigation. So that more than likely is the reason. I've got the sun right in my eyes. So if there is any portion of this film that's going to be about sun in the cameras, this is it right here on the highway. It's as bright as it can get. You can see my windshield is not that clean. These darn dry wipes I've been having on this FSD version has created these streaks that aren't very nice to see, but that's just kind of the product of it. We haven't had a dry wipe on this drive that I remember yet, but I have already seen it on this version. Very good navigation here. I talked about this yesterday in the Model Y drive. The speed profiles have fixed this interchange where these speed limits are just posted as too slow for the actual speeds that most cars travel on these interstate interchanges. While 50 miles an hour might be the right speed, sometimes you've got to go with the flow of traffic, and these speed profiles seem to let it do it just fine. All right, so now we're off the highway, jumping off the on-ramp, getting ready to take this right-hand turn and work our way over to Memorial Park. Again, this is going to be low traffic, so this is more just function. It looks like we just got a yellow light, so we're probably going to get a right on red opportunity here. We'll see how it does the NHTSA stop and a creep if necessary. It's got pretty good visibility to the left, so I don't think it needs to creep. I'd just give it a stop and a go. Just fine, right on red. Now, a lot of people are complaining that it isn't acknowledging no right on red signs, and I do agree that that is happening a lot of places, and it's because this neural network can't read. All it can know is a no right on red if it's in the map data. Going around road closed and things like that. I don't know if you can see, you can't see the left because you don't have a 360 camera anymore. I apologize. There's a road closed over here to the left. There is a release note about the network transmitting road closed information to the fleet in the release notes. It's down kind of at the bottom of the active features. So that's something to really maybe even test a little bit to see if that works in the future. Sun is right in my eyes again. It's asking for a slight turning wheel. I'm trying to not do that. I'm trying to look straight ahead, but it can't see. Attention monitoring unavailable. I don't know why attention monitoring is unavailable. I'm looking forward. I might be dipping my hat down a little bit for the sun. Looking forward to just come back. I wonder if, I don't know, maybe it's because I was squinting for the sun. I try not to put the visors down and things like that. And there, its attention monitor came back. So it might have been me squinting that made the attention monitoring go away. It just couldn't see my eyeballs, perhaps, is what was happening. Yesterday, we had an amazing interaction right here underneath this I-95 overpass at the Riverside Arts Market that they had here yesterday. We had a lot of traffic, and the Model Y navigated it perfectly. Obviously, with no traffic, this is not much to see, but the truck is doing just fine. Good decision on that yellow. Didn't run it. You know, there have been situations with the Cybertruck running red lights. I have not seen it on this version yet, so I'm not going to say it's still here or it's been fixed, but it is something that is a little bit mysterious because every time the Cybertruck has run a red light, it is seen red on the screen, which just goes into a little bit of that mystery bucket that I don't know how to explain it unless it's just some sort of latency or model or smoothness it's trying to achieve and not break. I don't know. Love some thoughts on that, why we think that occasionally happens. But Coming up here, we're going to be taking our left on the Memorial Park. I'm going to let the truck actually just kind of go into park, and then we'll go look at that camera message and see what happens if it works out with pedestrians and any other vehicles. See how this goes. No traffic. It's going to be easy. I feel bad for even doing a drive in no traffic. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content just as much. It's just the way the calendar worked out today when I had time to do it. All right, definitely staying over here in this right lane. Yesterday I had that was a really slow turn. Really slow. I mean, almost like it was worried that it didn't see what was coming up here. So it was just being a little precautionary there. It felt too slow. Almost like if there was somebody behind me, they'd be like, why is he going so slow? There were no pedestrians or anything. All right, the destination is just around this corner to the right. I do have 2 pedestrians here that might interfere. Let's see what the truck does. If it chooses going way around them, that's very nice. I'm hoping it just doesn't choose to stop right in front of them. See what happens here. Oh, did it remap? Looks like it remapped. What's it going to do? What's it going to do? It kind of turned left and just stopped. It's remapped like it's going to do a loop, but this is not what I would call a parking location. It's not trying to do anything. It's not trying to go into reverse. Well, actually, if you look at the truck does have the trajectory underneath it. I wonder if it's thinking it wants to reverse into one of these spots, and that's what it's doing here. See how that blue is underneath the truck, like it's going backwards a little bit? FSD 13 just thinks in these scenarios sometimes, and I don't know what it's thinking at the moment. Okay, I'm going to just tap the accelerator, give it a little bit of encouragement, and see what it does with that information. Definitely came back over to the right. Now what are you going to do? Oh, this is the beginning of a backup. You see how it's coming to the right? It wants to back up into this space is what it wants to do. So this is Cybertruck waiting on its next feature set. So I'm going to just go ahead and back up for it. And I'm just going to go ahead and park it here. I should have probably just let Auto Park do it. But I want to go into park, and I'm not going to do a perfect parking job because I want to see that camera. Got plenty of spots here. And if I go into park, all right, camera visibility limited. Clean dirt and debris from camera. Service camera visibility. So I'm going to go to camera visibility. And what is it? Remove visibility, dirt from the camera view by cleaning the windshield or washing your vehicle. If condition persists, have a cleaning contact service. I don't know. I think that's sunlight. Because if I go to the camera preview now, these are all crystal clear. See that? So this view up in this camera, I think has got this sun glare here. And I guess that is the forward camera up here that it's talking about. I'm just going to look real quick and just see if there's any obvious haze. Yeah, I don't see any obvious haze. You know, here's the look out of the, well, that's the rear. This is the bumper. These are the sides. You know, there is a way of going service. It's down here, service. And I think you can go to camera preview. Okay, I don't want to do, there we go. Let's go look out the main. That's the main camera. That one looks okay. And the wide, and that one looks okay. Now, there may be some off-gassing in there or something that in the perfect sun angle, it's getting a little bit fuzzy. So that's all I can think of there. All right, let's continue our drive and see what we have next. We're going to the cul-de-sac next. Activate drive. I'm just going to press the FSD engage button there. it's got a left turn. Okay, it's doing a left turn instead of the normal right turn. That's fine. I let it remap it. Did you see that jumpy trajectory there? That jumpy trajectory was a little interesting. There's definitely the code in here for reverse. Those last two parking destinations, how it pulled to the left, almost like it wanted the perfect angle to back in, I think is what we were seeing there, which was very, very interesting. I can't wait till it does it. I hope it does it well when it does it. If you didn't see my clip I posted on X or that highlight at the beginning of my Model Y video yesterday, and we're going to go to the same spot in the Cybertruck, it got itself in a tough spot at 5 points, and uh-oh, it jumped into the gore section here. Why did you do that? That was a little odd. Snapshot was recorded for it. Got a blinking yellow here. That was just poor lane selection. It went into almost like it was a whole turn line, but anyway, it should have waited to jump into that section a little bit later. It's recorded. I didn't do a disengagement, but there was nobody around. All right, deleting that point. So now we're forcing a cul-de-sac U-turn. Pay attention to the road, Chuck. I don't know if it's going to be able to do this turn radius. The Model Y was able to do it yesterday. God, this shit's trying. All right. I think what it just got itself into is the exact situation where it wants to reverse, and it can't. It can't go forward, but it wants to reverse. I'm trying to look underneath the car so you can see that little trajectory that kind of creates itself to where it wants to back up. It's in a perfect situation to back up. It just can't do it yet. It's not telling me to take over. It's got a blinker on. There's the blue. See it thinking? It's trying to get out of its jam here. Oh, and a dry wipe for everybody. Ouch. Oh, not another one. Come on. All right, I'm just going to help it out here. It can't do this. I'm going to back it up there. I'm going to go forward there. I'm going to give it a chance to start here. Now can you get out? I gave you a better angle. That would have been the turn you probably would have done on your own when you could do this. Come on, you can do it. It's not showing me it wants to back up. I put it in drive. It's engaged. All right, I'm going to use the pedal of encouragement here. There's a tap. There you go. So these are the little rough edges that the Cybertruck has that the Model Y just doesn't have. The Model Y is dynamic. It's got additional tools. It knows how to back up, go into reverse, and get itself out of the situation. You can see the Cybertruck model thinking about it, wanting to do it. They just probably haven't implemented it yet because it's probably not doing it well. Maybe the four-wheel steering, maybe the size of the truck, maybe the vision isn't accurate enough. I don't know. They're just not comfortable having that feature in here yet. Which does go to the point of then why does it have the exact same version number as the Model Y? And I don't know. That is a weird one to me. This shouldn't be 13.2.2 exactly the same as the Model Y because it's not the same. It doesn't have the same capabilities. Maybe it's the same model. I don't know. I think it's got a different data set, honestly, just the way it's behaving. Okay, we're coming up on 5 points. This was the situation the Model Y got itself in a jam yesterday. It went right, and this is not a roundabout. It is sort of like a intersection with a common choke point, and it essentially, okay, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Rerouting, let's see what happens here. I think in the Model Y, it pulled over at a POI location here. I think the Model Y had a destination that was a little bit further up that side road to the right. And it forced itself to go around the little pillar in the middle. I think my POI on this 5 points location is such that it's going to actually just take a left here instead of going around that. And it did. This is what the Model Y should have done to navigate correctly yesterday. But I probably have forced a really tough and bad planning situation where the Model Y should have continued on around and done another block or so and done a U-turn, not try to treat that little circle as a roundabout. So the truck did it correctly, but I think the reason the truck did it differently is because of the exact location of the POI I had for this kind of route scenario. But that's good to see. The truck could not have done that 3-point turn scenario the Y did, simply because it doesn't have reverse and it doesn't have the same radius of turn that the smaller Model Y does. It's close, but it doesn't. All right. How you guys feeling about my 360 camera? I wonder if the SD card's still in. It's still in here. Yeah, I got the SD card, so I'll post the yeah. The lens is just trashed. It's gone. Pay attention to the road, Chuck. I'm gonna give you a little tug there because it was doing the rapid blue. I guess I didn't lock my eyes on the road quick enough for it to recage. All right. What else can we talk about on 13.2.2? We were talking about the version number between the Model Y. I think the models are different, meaning like the data set is at least different. They got Torque Cortex, so they can train them both. But the fact they both went out on the same day for both 13.2.1 and 13.2.2 is a little interesting in and of itself, is that how are they testing and validating these models on the exact same day if they're not the exact same model? Or at least built together, right? You would think, well, if they're training one, go test it. If they're training another one, go test it. And then they would have a little bit of a staggered release. But the fact they've been on the exact same day kind of makes me think that they are trained at the same time. Or I don't know. I know the FSD team that's watching this video is probably chuckling right now, listening to me speculating about how they do their job. But it's fun for me to think about. Yeah, other features that are in this holiday release, what do you guys think your favorite ones are? Obviously, that camera cleaning one is a little interesting. I do have a service appointment scheduled in January. I think there is a service bulletin or some sort of task that when the cars come in, that they need to clean underneath the camera housing for any sort of off-gassing or contamination up here. I might be able to use that image and snap it and add it to my service request just to make sure that they give it a little wipe under there if there is any off-gassing. I don't know if that's the case or not. These bumps are even making my screen tilt a little bit. I can't wait to get a screen recording capability. This little camera, secondary camera thing I've got, I know you guys are probably like, it's fine, we can see it, but in some lighting conditions, this screen turns into a mirror and it reflects everything. And when it reflects everything, it just is, it overexposes and different things happen where you just can't quite see it as well. So I'm looking forward to having that modification available. Some of you guys have liked my comments or thought my comments about what the Cybertruck feels like with this same model as compared to the Model Y. I continue to feel like it's got the brains the Model Y has, but it's wearing a bigger dress. It's a little bit fatter of a kid or something, and it just keeps bumping into things or having little violations that the Model Y doesn't have, if that makes sense. So imagine that, you know, two siblings were trying to essentially navigate the same tight little obstacle course or squeeze around something, but one of them is just a lot bigger than the other one. The one in the front that perhaps is a little bit thinner, a little bit more lean, is just zipping around all of these obstacles. But the one in the back that's kind of following a little bit slower, a little bit heavier, a little bit wider, keeps bumping into the chairs or keeps bumping into the walls. That's kind of what it feels like. I'm trying to do the exact same thing as the other vehicle, but I'm just a different size. So I've got different boundaries to respect. In this intersection I talked about yesterday in my Model Y, and I was looking forward to doing this in the Cybertruck. Do you see that median up to the front left? I know you don't have the 360 camera, but it's up to the front left. And on the screen, it's right here. We've got to go straight and a hard angle left. And it's a perfect opportunity to determine if the Cybertruck has got its radius of turn right. It didn't hit it, but boy, it was going slow, and it trimmed it just right. So I would say it did it just fine. I felt like it was going slow enough that it was continually remapping. I bet on the visualization. I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at the curb. I'll bet it sharpened up a little bit, and it got even more precise, so it knew exactly where it was. But good job, Tesla. That was a nice radius to turn demonstration. The first iteration of FSD on this truck, 12552, I believe it was just running over those corners. And then the second version, 553, it would start the radius of turn that would run over the corner, and then it would do this little jog at the last second to adjust it. And that adjustment was just so obvious that it was kind of a different layer on top to tweak it. It wasn't part of the original model. In version 13.2.1 and now 13.2.2, that little adjustment bump for the radius of turn is gone. It's smoothly going around the corner, albeit it's going slower around these corners. It's not doing it very confidently. It's very slowly going around these left-hand turns where there's medians or things it has to honor. So I don't know, maybe that helps explain it a little bit for those of you not actually driving the Cybertruck. If you're driving the Cybertruck, I guarantee you that resonates with you and you're like, yep, that's exactly what it's doing. Here's another opportunity of a deceleration curve. This boat kind of pulled it out in front of me, and it has a motor sticking out at the back that might not be easy to see. That deceleration felt just fine. That even kind of makes me think that a lead car deceleration curve is better than the red light deceleration curve we saw at the beginning of this video. I don't know, what do you guys think there? I did see it on that first, and it was just me and the red light, and it kind of approached it and rapidly decelerated, reminiscent of the previous versions. Here we are on Roosevelt, and the speed limit's 45. I'm in standard mode. It's going 52, and the cars in front of me are going faster than me. That's a fine decision. I would say there's an opportunity right here on the underside of this pass. Very often there's a speed trap here, so I normally don't speed at all on that road. Here again, a nice deceleration curve with the lead car. Let's see if you get any black here. If you're not aware of how to read this control bar on the left, green is regen braking, and if you see black, that's actual braking. And you see the black there accelerating, that's actual torque being applied. So green is regen, green and black is regen and braking, and then black by itself is just braking without any regen. It's pretty subtle over here, but see, there's pure regen. See that? Pure regen. Pure regen, no braking in there. And then acceleration. It's kind of a neat little curve when you think about it. It helps you understand what the car or truck is doing. The Model Y has the same capability, showing that. Yeah, there's not going to be much more to see on this straightaway. This is just going to be traffic lights, maybe some decelerations on the lights. With just a few minutes to go, let's kind of think of a wrap up. I do want to comment on some things. For those of you that are still here listening to this video, I don't know, we're probably 55 minutes in, almost an hour in, because I had to go get my 360 out of the road. Some of you are asking for chapters and all of that other sort of stuff to my videos. And while I do know that chapters make skimming through a video really, really quick, I have to tell you that I try to put these videos out as fast as I can with the least amount of work that I can, so that they get out there for you to see as soon as possible. That takes an extra 2 hours sometimes to go through an hour-long video to create chapters. So I am choosing to not spend that time, and I'm choosing to put them out quicker. I do want to say, in the past, viewers that watch every single one of these videos, they take notes as they fast forward, and at the end of them, they put the chapters in a comment in the video. If anybody spends the time to write down the timestamps, if you do it in the YouTube chapter format, I will cut and paste those chapters, put it in the description, and pin your post to the top of the video so that you get recognized for creating the chapters. A little bit of crowdsourcing of information. I know there may be some of you that says that's pretty lazy. I'm just telling you why I don't do chapters is because the half-life of these videos, you guys are not going to watch this after 2 days. And honestly, most of you aren't going to watch it twice. So it isn't worth the time for me to go through that much production on every single video when there's just no life to it. You know, some of the content I do for beekeeping that people look at for years, you know, it is worth the time to put some chapters on those videos. So anyway, that's the reason there. Love to crowdsource it. If you guys want to throw it into ChatGPT or put it in the right format, you do have to put it in the right format. You got to kind of put the time, and then after that, the description, and then go vertically, and then it will auto chapter it for it. If you don't know how to do chapters, you ought to do a Google search or a ChatGPT or a Grok search on how to do it. It's pretty straightforward. I'm getting a lot of pay attention to the roads here because I'm squinting again with this direct sunlight. And I kind of just don't want to pull my visor down. I was thinking about putting it in park there in that direct sunlight and actually looking at my forward camera just to see if it was all foggy or not, but I didn't. So that's it. End of the drive, 13.2.2. I've done both the Model Y and the Cybertruck as quick as I could for you guys. Hopefully you stuck with me to the end of this video. Those of you that are still here, leave a comment with how many minutes it was. I guess I got to get on Amazon and find another Insta360 and spend another 500 bucks or so. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do it right here. I'm going to get up in this sunlight. I'm glad you're still here. Don't leave. I'm going to put it into park right here. Actually, it's going to go into park because this is my POI. Let's see if it goes into park. Come on, go into park like you're supposed to. This is your destination. Go into park. All right. I'm going to hit the brake. I'm going to hit park. All right. So now I didn't get the camera warning here, but let's go over to camera visibility under the service menu. And let's go down to camera preview. And this sun is right in my eyes. Camera. Nope, not calibration. Camera preview. Okay, there we go. Hey, you can see me in here. Here's the main camera. Can you see that? That's the main camera. So in the direct sunlight, there is a little bit of lens flare going on. It doesn't look obscured like that other one did. And here's the wide camera. There's the sun again, a little bit of lens flare. I don't know, do you guys think that's off-gassing in there? I think that it's just the sun angle, the combination of some dry wipes. I think that's honestly a dry wipe screech. Can you see this right here? That's a dry wipe arc, and you can see it. It's an arc. That is purely from its own toilet paper. Anyway, I'll probably put that as a little highlight clip too, just so people know what that camera preview is. And I did get that warning up here under camera visibility. It says, camera visibility limited, remove dirt and debris from the camera by cleaning the windshield or washing your vehicle. If condition persists after cleaning, contact service. And here is the example of it. If I press that light, it goes straight to this camera preview. So that was an actual little hot spot on the button. And there it is. All right. Hope you guys enjoy this content. Leave comments and feedback and suggestions below. Thank you for participating and in the conversation. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. You know, I said in the end of my Model Y video, and I truly believe it, spend the time with the people you love or the people that make you better. We are a product of the people we surround ourselves with as humans, and that's truly how I feel, that the people that are around us make us who we are. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day.